Hello everyone, Railgan here today to bring you the updated version of the free Roach opener. We're having a look at the 2020 version of this build. The free Roach opener is my favorite CVT build. It actually won me 20 games in a row recently against Terran, so 20 Terrans in a row died to the free Roach opener. Of course, they don't all die to the first three Roaches, but it usually puts me into a very good position. And we're going to have a look at how we played the free Roach opener in the year 2020. To give you like the basic overview, we start with 2 Lings, put on a little bit of pressure, 3 Roaches, put on a little bit of pressure, 6 Mutas, put on a little bit of pressure, a lot of Roach Ravager, put on a lot of pressure, transition to Roach Ravager, Ling, Baneling, and eventually Ultralisk, Crude Lord, whatever you feel like. It's called the free Roach opener, but it's basically a 15-minute game plan. That we just kind of have this plan, right? It's not a build order that we follow for 15 minutes, but we have a plan on what to do for 15 minutes. In the year 2020, we're facing a lot of issues with battle cruisers, and that's why in this first game, I'm going to show you a total of 3 games. And in this first game, I'm going to show you how I deal with battle cruiser and into battle mech, because I think that's like the most common opener in the current meta. And well, as you guys probably can imagine, going for a 2-base Spire against a guy that goes for battle cruisers gives us a pretty easy victory. Regardless of that, we're going to have a look at it, right? General build was 17 pool, 18 hatch, 17 gas, then 2 drones into the gas, then 2 Lings, a queen, a Roach Warren, 2 more drones into the gas, then after this queen pops, inject another queen here, 2 Roaches here, 1 Roach here, move across the map. And with the Lings, I try to deny scouting. I'm going to move across the map as well. I'm not really getting too much done with the Lings here, sadly. That SCV survives. Lucky him. This Overlord gets into position for a scout later on. 3 Roaches move across the map. Oh wait. Let's have a rewind. Let's rewind quickly. I think I killed the Reaper. Here we go. Let's see what happens to the Reaper. Does he scout? He does. He scouts. He sees everything. He panics. He's like, oh, Ermagerd. And so he's going to throw down the bunker, right? If you know the 3 Roaches are coming, you just throw down the bunker. In that case, I still went up here. I killed 2 Marines, putting on a little bit of pressure there. And then eventually I go home. Sadly, that 1 Roach bites the dust. But we killed 3 Marines and a Reaper for the price of 1 Roach. Definitely cost effective. Looking at the workers, we're up 35 to 24. I couldn't really build workers over here because it's hard to build workers when you have 3 Roaches right in that mineral line. At around 3:30 is when you usually throw down 2 additional gases. Once the second queen, the main popped, I started the lair, so around the 3-minute 10 mark. After lair is done, 4th gas, Spire, and an Overseer. Let's have a quick look. Usually my next 50 gas, before I even get Roach speed, go into an Overseer. If I want to know what's up, I just throw down a Changeling. Most Terrans won't notice the Changeling. Okay, this one is going a bit crazy there. Yeah, we see the fusion core. So I mean, not that many things can happen if you see a fusion core, right? Give him the good old PC LOL. I have like a Spore Crawler per base. I built some Ravagers because I felt like maybe it's gonna be a Liberator into BC. I didn't quite know. Going for the fast Corruptors here. You could also go for Mutas in theory, but usually going for fast Corruptors is better. If you go for fast Mutas, you just have to deal a lot of damage to his economy and try to kite around the BC. But if he knows you're going for Mutas and build Spores, usually in a tough spot against BC. As you can tell, like 6 Corruptors shut down 1 BC really easy. Against 2 BCs it gets a bit harder. I'm just kind of scouting about over here, putting pressure on him. Keep in mind, I have my 3rd base up. I'm actually putting on a lot of pressure this game. You don't have to commit this hard to Roach Ravager. I just decided that, hey, why not? Like, give him the good old Roacheroo. I'm going in over here, trying to kill as many workers as I can, looking at the workers kill tab. I killed a total of 20 workers, right? My corruptors all died, my roaches are kind of dying, but the story of the game is that I'm up 18 workers right now. My opponent could not take his third base yet. I'm just amassing corruptors at home. I don't want him to teleport his 3 BCs into my base now. Or, well, actually I do want him to port them there, but if he ports them there, my roach counter is ready. And I have enough corruptors ready to just blow him up, right? That's the plan. Then we take the 4th base, get some more upgrades. On the ground upgrades, I went for melee and missile attack. You can go for carapace upgrades, nothing bad about that. I'm speeding this replay up a bit. We still got quite a few games to go, and I don't know, like we don't really need to like have a detailed look at this. I basically go across the map right now, trying to break him over here. Slow it down a little bit. Go in there with my roaches. Rewind quick. My goal with this attack is to zone out this space, right? I want him to lift this space. So I don't really care about breaking his natural. All I really want to do is zone his species away from the third base and his tanks as well. I don't want him to have siege tanks over here. So as soon as he moves his tanks over here again, I go back in, I zone them, and then if I run into that tank, I turn around. We P on the orbital command, as is tradition, to kill it. Some links managed to kill that one tank, and supply wise, I'm still up 32 supply, right? I have like 1.5 times his supply almost. Now I'm almost doubling it once I started pumping some roaches. He re-expands over here. I go in and check with my links. I see that he has a lot of Hellions and Cyclones. I think I threw down a Baneling Nest. I'm getting the Infestation Pit in case I need a Hive transition. Over here I'm going for an attack. I don't really need to trade really well against him, right? I have 4 bases up in terms of gas. And if I can take any trade at all, pretty much, it's a good trade. I give in right here, just going in, getting like 1 or 2. Do I get that tank? Yeah, I get 2 tanks. I'm gonna lose these Ravagers, but I don't really mind too much. Yeah. Because I droned up pretty nicely. I'm on 4 bases. I think I'm gonna take a 5th now, and maybe a 6th as well, of course. I know how I play this game. I'm going for the fungal upgrade. For the Pethaging Lance, I can get that fungal immediately. Building some Banelings, because Banelings be Gucci, yo. I still have a couple corruptors in the air that I'm now using to peon his command center once more. In this fight right here, let's quickly watch how it ends first, and then I'm going to re-explain, because I think this fight actually kills him. Pretty sure he's going to leave the game. Not 100% certain. Let's see. Oh no, he stays in the game. I think once the fungals start landing, he has to leave though. Pew, 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 pew. Because I mean, all he really has is Cyclones, and like Cyclones are not that great against the good old fungally boys. Yeah, there we go. So let's rewind quickly to just rewatch. Yeah, right here. So I'm slowing this fight down, right? The corruptors are peeing on the command center, so he has to repair it. I'm going to quickly kill that missile turret. Now, this means his SCVs have to repair the command center. I'm trying to pile the tank, sadly I kinda miss. Now, I'm moving most of my units. I'm move commanding my Banelings into his mineral line. Because his SCVs, like, keep in mind, they have to keep repairing this orbital command, because else the orbital command dies. So I just moved my Banelings in there to blow up his clumped up SCVs, and yeah. I mean, his Cyclones are alive, but I don't really care. I'm just pumping units anew. Fixing up the macro at home, getting that eco up and running. And I'm just kind of running in over and over again. I'm getting my crater Spire transition, my +3/+3, maybe adrenal glands as well. Ah, not even. And yeah. No, we already saw this game end, so let's just go over there quickly again. Fungal, kill all his workers. He has no workers, he loses the game. In this game, the free Roach opener gave us like a solid ground to stand on in terms of like it allowed us to make our opponent play defensive. Like he didn't really Hellion harass us because he's like, oh shit, my opponent got roaches. Then once he went for the BC, we already had the Spire ready. Also, by the way, I'm comedy genius. And yeah, overall, just a really nice game. Like the free Roach opener is a really good opener in that case because roaches roaches and corruptors actually work together quite nicely, I feel. Against that sort of mech. Anyways, we're seeing the same old. This time the guy wasn't that lucky and didn't scout the bunker, didn't scout the roaches immediately, so he went for the high ground bunker. He shot down his eco a little bit again. Once again, quite a bit ahead in workers, because that's kind of how the build works. 430 Spore Crawler. Watch this defense. It's like, oh my god, a Spire. 3 queens in the main ready. Spore Crawler in the natural. Guy goes in. Workers killed. 0. My god, he did it. By the way, Switzerland has really good water. And we also have really nice Starbucks cups. Okay. This time we're fighting a Bio-Terran, so slightly different game. Once again, Mutalisk go across the map. Harass, hurrah, hurrah. Like they're kinda, like, I guess my Mutalisk kinda make crow noises. Craw, craw. I don't really get too much done with the Mutalisks. Last game I went for Corruptors because my opponent went for BC. This time around, like my Roaches tried to shut down his Marines a bit. Oh no, he got the 3rd base down, but we already saturated ours. Take our 4th. I don't know, I might even take a 5th. I know in the last game I took the 4th down here. This time I take it here. I don't really think too much about that. I just kind of take it. I like to play this very aggressive. Like against Bio, I'm going for missile and carapace upgrades. I'm not getting, I'm just going to tell you guys this right away. This guy is going to get owned, right? The Mutalisk didn't really do too much, but we are going to roll this guy. Because the free Roach opener, if you do not respect the Roach into Muta transition, you get owned, right? 3 Ravager Biles are enough to kill a tank, so that's all the Ravagers we need. I just need 3 Ravagers and then I can shut down his tanks. The moment this guy has to evacuate the base over here, he's in deep shit, right? This is like, he has to lift his 3rd base while I'm taking my 4th. While my +1/+1 is done, while I'm getting my +2 missile upgrade. Really bad. I'm just pumping roaches at home. I'm getting link speed right now. I'm going to get a baning nest over there in a second as well. Pushing into here is going to be tough because like the high ground tanks, I don't really have a way to deal with the high ground tanks. Once he starts pumping medivacs, I'm starting to make corruptors now. I'm droning up some more because why not, dude? Like 77 workers, that sounds like a good worker count to me. Biles can hit flying buildings, so use those to kill those pesky flying buildings. And yeah, we're just... Oh my god. He did. Yeah. Now, my usual transition against Bio is that I then throw down the Baning Nest. And I know this game is kind of a one-sided stomp, but I feel it's like... Usually I just... I think he posted Weeps out at some point, yeah. Usually, it's kind of like the games aren't usually the games that they usually show you guys aren't that one-sided, but I feel like it's really nice to like show you guys a one-sided stomp now and then again, right? Because like there are a lot of close games, but there are also a lot of games where I just roll over my opponent, like in this one. And I also want to motivate you guys to play my build, right? I'm not like, I don't want to just go, oh, look at me, like, Look at me playing perfectly and barely etching out. Perfectly. And barely etching out the win. No, I want to show you guys, like, look. This build is so strong. You can fuck up really bad and still make your opponent look like a banana. So, he's pushing me over here with the tanks. I got that Baneling spread rolling in. This is not a good fight for me. Like, it's off creep. We're fighting, the Corruptors are... The reason why I built these Corruptors, and not Mutalisk, are because Corruptors, they tank quite nicely. And one of my main goals is always to keep the Medivac count low. That was so bad, dude. Like, I missed the bile on the tank, and the tank keeps shooting. I'm still almost max, right? This is not a situation where I'm like, oh my god, my opponent is killing me. This is an situation where I'm like, oh my god, my opponent might survive another minute, right? That's the kind of game we're in right now. So, Lings go in, Corruptors shoot at the... Do you see how these Corruptors kill these Medivacs? Almost have the +2 missile upgrade ready as well. Pretty one-sided. Now we're going to have a look at game number 1. 23 minutes. This is going to be a good one, guys. 5-8 is like top 100 GM. Hopped. Strong player. The opener is going to be mostly the same. Mostly the same opener that we already went for in the last games. We have the pool edge gas, the 3 roaches. 3 roaches are being built. You don't need, if your opponent sees that you're going for the 3 roach opener, shut down that Reaper. I killed one worker and I killed the Reaper. Like, you don't need to walk across the map with the roaches. I just kind of position my links in a way that I can scout. Once again, same gas timings, same spire timing. My Viking was being a bitch. Fuck you, Viking! Then we take the third base. Have my spores ready around the same time that I usually go for them. Let's see. I think I scouted as well. Like it's basically all the usual, right? I know this guy's going for bio, so I've seen everything that I want to see. Middle of the map, mutas pop out. Let's see how many did I go for this game. 6 mutas. They fly across the map. They're doing quite a bit of damage over here. We've killed a total of 4 workers. Now my 6 mutas are clumped together. It's like really nice. Like, I get that mule kill. You can also go for, like, if there's like a couple marines just running around, you can also just go in and kill them. So I killed a total of 9 workers now with these mutas. I made a couple more even. Like, if you feel confident with your mutas, just build more, dude. Like, don't worry. Once you have your third saturated, usually I start building a lot of units. I'm actually building them a little bit earlier this game because I felt like he might go for a very heavy attack because I killed that many workers. But yeah, all is good. I have like 14. Oh, this is also beautiful. Like, if he like messes up and like just has his tanks lying around, like trade a muta or 2, just kill his tanks. If you kill his tanks, like, it's a lot harder for him to rebuild a tank than it is for you to rebuild a muta. And tanks are going to be really annoying. I don't know, like, make him stim, use up his medivac energy, do damage wherever you can, be annoying, spread your creep. Once again, I'm going for some corruptors because I want to shut down the medivacs. The corruptors are being built right now. I went for the Baning Nest. I don't really have a general timing for the Baning Nest, but like, if you think your opponent, usually you want Baning speed around the time your opponent moves out. I didn't really put on a lot of pressure on him in this game. I'm also not going to defend the space over here, I think. Oh, this was beautiful. Watch this. The medivac, the Overlord sees the medivac. Mutas come in, shut down the medivac. Very good. This guy played, as I said, this guy plays at a pretty decent level, so. Mutas go in, see, it's unsieged, boom. We go in for the kill, man. Burrow, Banelings. Didn't quite work out that time. I like to play I like to play around with Burrow. Yeah, I don't know. I'm killing a couple of his medivacs here. It's always really good. Sadly, he gets most of the stuff home. I'm also not really able to break him here. I think I forgot my +2 upgrade, sadly. I mean, mistakes happen. But overall, we're now transitioning into a Ravager Ling Bane composition. Ravager Ling Bane Corruptor composition. One I feel really comfortable with. The Ravagers clean up tanks quite nicely. Oh, this is actually an interesting fight. Let's have a look at this fight again. Right. Because taking fights is also very important. I'm not like there's so many things. I mean, I could have gone for a Ling run by right there as well, but I'm going for like a Baneling flank. Get quite a lot of nice hits. My Banelings are being move commanded over here behind the Terran army. My Ravagers are kind of A-moving, and then I'm biling behind his army and on top of his Medivacs. Because my goal is to... I don't want to hit his army with the biles. I mean, that would be nice, but that's usually hard. What I'm instead aiming at are the Medivacs, because usually Terrans are a lot worse at moving the Medivacs around, because you kind of need to know where the Flyer Helper is and stuff, than they are at moving around the bio. So yeah, I mean, I'm putting pressure on him here. I'm losing quite a bit. Definitely overstepped my bounds a bit. At home, I'm gonna throw down the infestation pit in a sec, I believe. Just kind of expanding away. Like, I just naturally expand. I want to have around 70 to 80 workers. Infestation pit is done already. Hive is coming. And we're trying to get that Ling Bane, whatever, transition up. Our opponent is sitting comfortably on 4 bases. World of Sleepers, if you can hold this position, it's very easy to hold 4 bases. Then if you have to move your defense over here to get your 5th, of course. Corruptors are also really nice at shutting down these drops, because they kill Medivacs really fast and they don't really die fast to Marines. But then once again, like, these Marines have +3 upgrades, so they actually do a lot of damage now. This doesn't really look like a scary push out, so I was like, what the hell is going on over here? I kind of go in. I borrowed a lot of Banelings there. More Banelings of mine are coming. I was kind of hoping that he would push in a little bit deeper, but well, he sadly knew that the Banelings were there, so he wasn't in a hurry. Felt pretty bad, man. I keep trying the burrow Baneling strats, but I just can't quite make it happen against him. Once again, biling the Medivacs. Keeping the Medivac count low makes it a lot harder for him to push, because if I make him stim now, it really hurts him. Like, he has like 1 Medivac. No, now he has 2 Medivacs. He actually has 3 starports producing Medivacs right now. He's producing 4 Medivacs at a time. Well, that's interesting. Hive is done, Ultra Cavern is done, getting the Carapace upgrade, getting the +3 armor upgrade, and going to get the melee +3 next. I don't really need the Carapace upgrades anymore at this point. Annoying harass there, but Corruptor good unit. I'm also going for the Greater Spire. I built Vipers are also quite nice. Like, this one Viper is going to be such a game changer in a second, because he clumps up all his tanks. He knows nothing, dude. 1 blinding cloud, boom, big game changer. Like, I'm just trolling him right here. And I don't know. I still could have done this a lot better, but hey. I should have killed this base as well, or tried somehow, I don't know. Spire is kind of chasing me away. I don't really have Ling Bane support left. And his harass over here killed 2 of my bases. We didn't really have a look at that. We don't want to watch Railgan lose bases. What are you guys? Like, nobody cares about... Nobody wants to see me take damage. We want to see our opponent get stomped, right? Damn right, Railgan. Burrow Banelings here, there, everywhere. Another drop down here. I was actually a bit worried about this drop. I'm not sure where it eventually leaves to. But yeah, we have Brood Lords now. Why not? Of course it gets shut down. Yeah, over here my Brood Lords are going. I have Ling burrowed over there, so he cannot expand. Actually, there's a cute trick. If you spread creep and burrow a Ling, like usually the Terran will not expect a burrowed Ling if you are already spreading creep, so he will kill the Overlord and think he can expand there, but you still have a Ling burrowed, so he cannot. Okay, Broodlord harass. He doesn't really have Vikings, so it's kind of annoying for him to deal with. Like the tanks are shooting at him. My units then go in. I'm abducting the Liberators because they would kill my poor Ultras. Once again, the Burrow Baneling strat, dude. The Burrow Bane strat. This is kind of stupid. My Burrow Bane. I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing, dude? Like he's like shitting the reactors everywhere here. The Ghost Academies. But yeah. I ain't having none of that, yo. This is not really that big of an army, but it's still an annoying push to deal with for me. He eventually kills that base, loses the tank, drops over here, gets Bane linked and dies. Because he has a lot of starports, he can also pump a lot of Vikings, so he cleans me up in the air. He lost his natural, he lost this base, so he's kind of spread out awkwardly right now. I know that he is trying to take this base because I see that with my Burrowed Ling. Baneling flank from behind. Boom boom. And well, I mean, I don't really want to fight with my Corruptors. I just kind of want to fight with my Ling Bane here. Once again, Baneling burrowed, but Baneling burrowed here as well. Oh, this attack is also quite cute. I'm sending in the Ultralisk first, and then the rest of my army follows up. So the Planetary is attacking my Ultralisk, while my Lings kill all his SCVs and the Planetary. So yeah, he is down to one base, and well, has to GG out. Yeah. That was the free Roach opener, 2020 version. Put together in 30 minutes, explained in 3 different games. We had the Mech Beast, we had the Bio Stomp, we had the Bio into late game transition. I think those are like the most common games that you're going to face. But yeah, just a fun opener to play around with. Have a good one.